I began making fried rice when I was in college because I enjoyed eating it at Chinese restaurants and I wanted to give it a try at home. My first few attempts were not so successful, but after I graduated from college, I was dirt poor for a period of roughly 18 months. Many evenings were spent preparing fried rice because I didn't have a whole lot else to eat. Most of the time I didn't put meat in it. All I needed was rice, oil, soy sauce, egg, vegetables, and, whatever else I had on hand. But now that I'm living this lavish lifestyle, I've returned to the preparation of fried rice as something that I would enjoy. And now that my skills have been honed, let me show you how to prepare an excellent serving of beef fried rice. There's basically 5 things that you really need to put together a good batch of fried rice. Number 1 is, of course, rice. Number 2, you're going to need some soy sauce. Then you're going to want to put some vegetables in there also. You will need an egg, and if you'd like, you can put in some meat. The best way to do rice is to use leftover rice, so it's completely cold and the grains won't stick together. If you try to do it with hot rice, it's not going to work too well for you. You can see that I threw some peas in there with my leftover rice that I put in this Tupperware container last night. For vegetables, I have a leftover red bell pepper that I'm going to use, and I always put green onions in my fried rice.
This is what green onions look like.
This fried rice is going to have beef in it. I have some beef sirloin that I got at the grocery store when it was on sale. I cut it thin when I brought it home, put it in a bag, threw it in the freezer. I will be marinating that in soy sauce, some chili sauce, garlic, sesame oil, and I have a little bit of ground mustard in the cupboard.
Here's the marinade. Beef, chili sauce, sesame oil, soy sauce, garlic, oh, that's not garlic, mustard powder, and now garlic. Stir it up. Oh, man.
If you are going to be making fried rice with meat, the first thing that you're going to want to do is cook the meat. I'm going to turn this wok on to a relatively low temperature, not as hot as I'm going to use when I do the rice later. Now here's what the inside of my wok looks like. I'm sure some of you are thinking, hey Zach, that's gross. But this is just a nice, well-seasoned wok, and I'm going to cook some beef. I'm going to start with a little bit of oil, about a teaspoon or so. And then I've squeezed a lot of the juice away from the meat. There's not a whole lot left. Most of it has soaked into the meat. And then oil moved around and put in the beef.
This would also be a good time to put in the bell pepper. I forgot to do that.
The meat's not completely cooked through, but that's okay. It's going to get cooked again when it's in with the rice. And what I'm going to do is actually just put the meat right back into the bowl that I use for the marinating. There's 2 very important things that you need to do before you can make fried rice. Number 1, the key to really good fried rice is having a pan that is as hot as the surface of the sun. I'm going to crank this up and leave it here for about a minute, 2 minutes until it's smoking. This needs to be really, really hot. Now, once I start, the total cooking time is 2-3 minutes. It's really quick. So what I've done on the counter behind me over here, I've set up the things in the order that I'm going to need them. First the egg, second the rice, third the soy sauce, then the beef and peppers, and the last thing that I will put in is the green onions. Okay, it's been a few minutes now. The wok is smoking. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of oil in the bottom, swish it around, and then get started. I am done talking. I'm going to turn on the fan. Let's go.
Well, I said I was done talking, but I guess I'm going to keep going. Look at the intense look on my face throughout this. It's hilarious. when the egg goes in, you're going to notice that it pretty much puffs up right away. That's because the pan and the oil are so hot that the egg instantly starts to harden and bubbles up. Okay, since this rice came out of the refrigerator, it's cold and clumped together. That's why I'm kind of chopping it apart there. It could be broken up by hand before it goes into the wok, and yeah, that's probably what I should have done. Ah well. I'm looking at you. Once the rice is split apart and separated, the soy sauce needs to go in. Soy sauce in a nice hot pan like this will kind of caramelize. It really makes the flavor kind of nice. That's why the soy sauce has to go in now rather than on the rice before you put it in. Beef. This amount that I'm making here would probably be adequate for a couple of people if you had something else to go along with the meal. Obviously, I ate the whole thing after I cooked this, but it's kind of a large amount for just one dude. And I forgot to mention, the type of rice that I use for this is jasmine rice, which is a nice long grain rice. I always have some of that on hand. You'll want to use some sort of long grain rice for this. Otherwise, short grain rice, it's too sticky. It's out of frame, but that's a dish I just set right there. Looks like this is ready to eat. For a lot of people, what I've done so far will be adequate enough. I do like to make mine a little extra spicy, so I'll just put on more of this sauce. Same stuff that I put in with the beef. This is pretty much the greatest sauce in the world. Thanks for putting up with my silliness. We'll see you next time.